Alright, so just a little bit of algebra that you're going to need for our next topic, which is partial fractions. Here's a question. Find A, B, and C if all of that. So you've got a problem here because you've got A, B, C, and X as variables. Now, because they're all variables here, you can essentially sub anything you want in for one of them. Now, the trick is to sub in values for X so that things disappear. What do I mean by that? Well, if I sub in X equals 0, if I put X equals 0 into this, watch what happens. A times 0 times 0 minus 2. A times 0 is 0, times that's going to be 0. So that becomes 0. And then B times 0, that's going to become 0 times whatever that is. Well, that's going to be 0. And then I have C times 0 plus 1 times 0 minus 2. That gives me C times 1 times negative 2. That's going to be negative 2C. And then I've got 2x minus 4. That's 0, so 2 times 0 is 0, minus 4. So I can say now that C is equal to 2. So I know one of my values. Now the trick again is to sub in a value so that either one of these disappears. So I can sub in negative 2. Actually, let's sub in negative 2. Let's sub in x equals 2. The reason I'm subbing in x equals 2, because if I put 2 in here, I'm going to get 2 minus 2, and that's going to be 0. So it's going to be ax times 0, ax times 0 is going to be 0, plus bx times 3, so we've got 3bx, and then plus, watch what happens here. We've got c, which we know now is 2, 2 times 2 plus 1, which is 3, 2 times 3, which is 6, and then 2 minus 2, which is 0. Oh, 2 times 3 times 0, that's going to be 0 as well. And then that's going to be 4 minus 4, 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 4, which is 0. So now I can say that 3bx equals 0. That means that b must be equal, and x here, I'll stuff that up, because x here is actually 2. Which means that that's not 3bx. It's 6b. And that means that b is equal to 0. So now I've got a b value and a c value. I should be able to find my a value quite easily here. Finally, I can let x equal negative 1 here. If I let x equal negative 1, let's do it up here. Sub x equals negative 1. We're going to end up with negative 1a, or negative a, times negative 1, negative 2. So that's negative 3a. Positive 3a, sorry. The negative 1 here is going to be negative 1 plus 1, which is 0, so that's all going to cancel out. And if I put a negative 1 in here, that's going to become 0 as well. So we're just going to end up with 0. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 4. So we know that 3a equals negative 6. A is negative 2. So finishing this all off, we know that a, b, and c are 2, 0, and negative 2. Now think about why this works. We've got an x plus 1 here and an x plus 1 here. We've got an x minus 2 here and an x minus 2 here. And we've got one of those values is just a c, not a cx or an ax. Done.